Hey everybody, La Maestra Loca here. I'm so excited to join you tonight or to have you join me tonight to talk all about boundaries and setting boundaries as we enter the new school year. I know some of you are already back to school. My first day was with students today. Uh, did I say that correct? My first day with students was today, and it was awesome. But I was very intentional before today to set some boundaries to protect my mental and emotional health this year. Going into the school year, going into the academic year. And I want to make sure that all of you who are teachers are doing the same. Because last year we faced a year unlike any other when it comes to being in the classroom. And it's so essential if we are going to stay in the profession to set some boundaries now around our mental and emotional and physical health to make sure that we can make it through this year. Teacher turnover was real last year, and I'm proud of the people who left mid-year because those people were putting their mental and emotional health first, and they literally couldn't anymore. So I want to make sure that I don't have to make that decision, and I think that the way I can do that is through really solid, great boundaries. So I'm super excited you're here. You can interact with me. You can post comments and I'll see them real time because I am streaming to YouTube and Facebook right now. So feel free to interact with me, engage. I'm going to be asking you what kind of boundaries you're setting. I wanted to do this here because I did this chat in my Instagram community earlier this week and it was so fire, and people set so many amazing boundaries for themselves and agreed to set new ones after they heard the ones I'm setting, that I was like, I want this impact to be much greater. I want to make sure that I'm touching people. That sounds awful. I want to make sure that I'm reaching people in my Facebook and YouTube communities who maybe aren't on Instagram. Hola, bonjour, Heidi. Thanks for joining me. Heidi, I would love to hear what boundaries you're setting for yourself this year. I know that you just did it in our Familia Loca event, but go ahead and retype those boundaries if you want to over here so we can hear what boundaries you're setting for yourself. So I want to talk to you about some of the boundaries I'm setting in case any of these inspire you. The first is around email. And for me, this isn't a boundary that I'm newly setting. It's a boundary I'm maintaining. I'm moving into a brand new school. They sent out an email and said, hey, don't forget when you're signing up for your email, do it on your phone so that you can set up the two-step authentication. I did that. And then the first thing I did before anything else, before going to get a drink of water, before going to do anything else, was I took that email off of my phone. And I think I cannot say enough about this boundary. Set the boundary of taking work email off your phone now and email me a month from now to thank me for it. Because every person I've ever told do this comes back and thanks me for it later. And I guarantee you will too. Because here's the deal. If you check your email at night on your phone, you're going to your regular email, like, oh, Bath and Body Works is having a sale tomorrow. Those candles I really like are $15. Do I tell my husband? Do I not tell my husband? And you see an angry parent email seconds later, guess what? Those emotions and those feelings that you're having at just seeing that parent's name, even if you don't open it, are already triggered. Those emotions are already in the works and you're thinking about it all night. You have allowed those to enter your space. If you see an email that was sent at 10 p.m. by admin about a mandatory meeting tomorrow that wasn't expected, you're already pissed. You're in your head about it. God, why do I have to do that, right? So the feelings are inevitable and they're instant and they're hard to get rid of. So why have your work email on your phone when you can experience those same emotions when you're in your classroom space the next day ready for work? In my opinion, there is no need to have those feelings overnight, because here's the next piece of it. When you're immediate to respond to that, you're also not setting a good boundary for yourself. You're setting the expectation that you will immediately respond no matter what time, day or night. Guess what that parent does? If it was an angry parent email, they're going straight back with you because they were already angry and now you're responding with your feelings, whatever they are. They're going to tell you something else. You're going to say something else. It's going to go back and forth as this like power struggle that's so unnecessary. There's a second piece to that. If the parent was just, hey, could you remind me again where I find the lunch thing for tomorrow? Sure, at 7 in the morning when I get to work. 7 in the morning, I'm going to open that email. I'm going to respond to you. If I'm responding to you at 9 p.m., I'm going to be known as the teacher who will respond no matter what, no matter when. So go ahead and email Maestra. I know she's just a Spanish teacher. She's just a French teacher, or he's just a German teacher, but he'll respond, right? Hey, Melanie, my familia loca is showing up. So the reality is, like, you will feel the same. Their reactions will be the same. And here's the alternative I'm going to offer. Another boundary that I'm setting that is new this year, because I am a people pleaser and I want to respond on time. And I know, Heidi, you are definitely one of these people, and you're a techie and you're always on your computer anyways. I'm going to wait before responding. So my school has a 24-hour response, no, a 48-hour response promise. So in 48 hours, business hours, we will respond to your email correspondence. If it's an angry, frustrated, annoyed parent, I'm going to wait time, give them time to cool off, maybe hear different perspectives. I'm going to give myself time to process and breathe before I respond, because you never know what that wait time might do for you. It can be really pretty powerful. Outside of like, if you're not going to listen to me about taking it off your phone, at least listen to me and don't check it at night. Don't check it after hours. Yes, 48 hours to respond. It is great, Audrey. I agree. Heidi says, boundaries I'm setting this year are learning to say no more and to not make myself feel like I always have to do or be involved in all the things at school or professional organizations. Learning to delegate is going to be key for me. Heidi is involved in lots of work outside of school too. So Heidi is saying, I'm going to say no in multiple areas of my life to protect my mental and emotional health. And when we're doing this, it's really best for our students, right? Because if we continue these cycles, it's not only are we not our best selves, but more importantly than that, we are modeling for them what we hope for them in their futures. Do we want our students spinning their wheels and going 100 miles an hour all the time? No, we want to be modeling what we want for them. Kai says it is so important to wait to respond to an angry email. It is so important. A lot of people saying 24 hours is the response time for their school. That's fast. Model what you want for your students. Here's another boundary. Physical boundaries. A lot of people on Instagram shared the other night that their boundaries are going to be around exercise, like getting to the gym. One is a very busy working mom, and she was like, I just want to fit it in at when I can, where I can. Maybe I suggested taking a walk with your animal or your kids, right? What does physical health look like? Is it eating healthier? Is it making sure eating breakfast? Like for me, I don't eat breakfast, but I'm working on changing some physical behaviors for myself. I took July off of working out with my coach. I had only ever started in June. I took July off, not because I was already like, I can't do this. It was hard work, but because of conferences and those sorts of things, I'm getting back into training twice a week with my fitness coach. She's Pretty Fit Athletics, Danny, on Instagram. Incredible human. Are you drinking water? That's another one of mine. Y'all, I'm literally the worst water drinker ever. Like so bad. My promise to myself this year is to drink. I'm like pointing like you can see. You literally can't see it. Drinking 2 of the big, for me, this is big, 2 of them before I leave my school building. And if it gets to like 4 o'clock and I haven't, I'm not leaving the school building until I chug 2 of them. And that will be so physically uncomfortable. Hopefully I remember the next day. So that's really, really important. Water is essential. I love this. And it also, like, I realized I needed it today. I needed it. Oh, you resigned as senior class sponsor this week, and thankfully my principal was so understanding. And you shouldn't even worry about the emotions of those other people, right? Some of us Enneagram 3s are like people pleasers, so we don't want to let anybody down by not doing something. You're not letting anybody down. You're setting a healthy boundary for yourself, right? So I think it's really, really, really important to prioritize your needs. And instead of saying, I'm so sorry I have to do this, thank you so much for understanding why I have to step away from this role and why I have to do it to protect my mental and emotional health this year. Thank you in advance for your understanding, whether you're in person or in an email. Don't apologize. Sometimes it's easier for me to reply to emails when I see or get them and I'm at my computer, which helps me be ready for the day. Sure. Yeah, the schedule replies, Melanie, that is it. Hitting schedule reply instead of schedule sending things instead of hitting send. Schedule that. Schedule it for when you want it to be sent. And it also, again, is setting that expectation that you're not responding within seconds. No. You're not at their disposal. You're teaching, right? You have a life beyond school. Don't check your email at night. Take it off your phone. Heidi talked about saying no. So I want to go back to that. If you struggle with saying no, then I encourage you to set this boundary that I started last year that I'm so glad I did and I'm going to continue to do. Set the boundary of I'm going to say no more often. But if you're like me and you're a people pleaser and you've always said yes, and it's going to be a shift for people to hear you say no, I encourage you to find an accountability buddy. This is somebody in your school building who loves you, who is a friend, but who also is willing to say, I don't care. I don't care. I'm saying no. You set this boundary. You have to say no. This is a person that when somebody comes to you and says, hey, we are still a carpool duty person short. I know that you didn't want to do that duty this year because you've done it for 5 years in a row and in the heat and it's on the blacktop, but we really need you to do it and we appreciate you. You're so good at it and you're already familiar with the families. And so we really need you. Thank you. I'm so honored that you thought of me. I know that I have a great relationship with the families. That means a lot to me. I need to check in with my accountability buddy first. If you're too scared to, in that moment, say no, instead say, thank you. I'm going to speak with my accountability buddy and I will let you know within the next blank hours. You go to your accountability buddy, mostly just to say that you did. You say, oh my God, I was asked to do it. I knew I was going to be asked to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I don't want to let the principal down. And it's so much. They say, no, you're not doing it. Okay, thank you. I just needed to hear it. And then they'll probably give you more feedback as to why that's such a bad idea and why you should maintain the boundary that you set of saying no. And then you're good. You go back and say, hey, I checked in with my accountability buddy. They reminded me of the obligations that I already have and what I've already said I would do, and I really can't take that on. Boom, done and dusted. Some of you are setting boundaries around time this year. Oh, accountability buddy wise, don't share who that person is. People will ask, well, who is your accountability buddy? Always use they, them pronouns and don't refer to them by name because you don't want them going directly to them. Time boundaries. What time are you leaving the building by? Some of you, that's going to be your hard boundary. I'm not leaving past blank time and setting a timer for it. I learned a lot of my boundary setting things from Libby Minshall, who I worked with. She's the queen of boundaries and is unapologetic about setting them and about saying no. Doesn't hesitate. And is one of the best teachers I've ever seen, but doesn't hesitate. Oh no, I'm not doing that. That's when I go to the gym. Oh no, I'm not spending my weekend time. No, that's when I'm going to drink beer with my husband and nope, I won't be doing that. Guess what? People don't ask her because she's going to say no. Oh man, it's so good. Another boundary I'm setting is around social media. You're going to notice, especially if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting a lot, most of that is schedule posted. I'm not scrolling all day because I've realized like it is such a time suck. It's so important for me to remember like there are so many things I can be doing that will bring me so much joy. Whereas like that scroll, you get lost in that scroll. So that's a personal thing for me. And it's also because, remember, I have this whole teacher social media stuff, right? So for me, it really is work. It's not play. So setting a healthy boundary around that is really important for me. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad you moved to school with a shorter workday, Kai. That's awesome. And less responsibilities. That's awesome. So if you would like to right now drop in the comments what boundary you're setting, I would love to read those. I'm going to go ahead and just stop this recording because I want people to, I want to honor your time and keep this short and sweet and impactful. I'll be doing more of these this year, live with La Loca. If you don't already follow my podcast, make sure that you check out my podcast. And I also want to invite you to an event that's going to be a free workshop event with me. It's called Setting the Stage. If you are on my email list, you were emailed the link last night. If you're not, I'm going to go ahead and add this to the Facebook and YouTube links after I end. But I'm going live on August 14th to talk about what I did on the first day of school and how I worked before school to set the stage and how I'm working in the next 2 weeks to set the stage for a strong school year. So I'll be providing some solid strategies to start strong. Everything from staging your classroom, building community, establishing relationships, setting expectations, easing into language. All of these things are what I'm going to be sharing at this webinar, at this workshop. So make sure that you register to save your seat, and I would love to see you there. You're welcome for everything. Melissa, watching from YouTube. Thank you. I love my new job. I can't wait to share about it. And the activities that I did today on the first day are perfect for whatever age. Like, so fire. I can't wait to share. And I have some resources for you too. For anybody that attends live, I have some resources that I'll be free just passing out resources for you. I hope you have a great evening. Take care of yourself. Set those boundaries. Keep those boundaries. And rock this year. I'm so excited to work with you this year and get to know you more. Take care. I'll see you soon. Adios. Bye.